appreciate your willingness to change your schedule.
Well, changing is one of my strong suits, Mr. Bradley.
As you know, your father and I were classmates at Princeton. He was quite the big man on campus.
Even bigger now.
Well, aren't we all? I was very impressed with your application. Particularly cogent was your essay on the fall of Eastern Europe.
Well, if you like Eastern Europe in the fall, you should see it in the spring. It's beautiful.
Oh, you've got a good sense of humor. Obviously, you got that from your dad.
Oh, you know my dad?
Well, yes, didn't I just mention that a moment ago?
Oh, yeah. Of course, a big man on camera.
Oh, you've got a good sense of humor. Obviously, you got that from your dad.
Oh, you know my dad?
Well, yes, didn't I just mention that a moment ago?
Oh, yeah. Of course, a big man on camera.
Oh, I see you. Oh, you've got a good sense of humor. Obviously, you got that from your dad.
Oh, you know my dad?
Well, yes, didn't I just mention that a moment ago?
Oh, yeah. Of course, a big man on camera.
Oh, I see here that you worked for a lot of charities. Which one meant the most to you?
The second one. But this has all been about me, Mr. Bradley. Me. No, Frank, is there a Mrs. Bradley? A couple little baby Bradleys? Hey, have you seen Braveheart?
Look, friend, we can talk about candy all day, but you ain't gonna convince me that blue was a bad way to go. By the way, I hear that whistle blowing. I got a train to catch.
Let's go.
Hey, hold on there, Sparky. Before you catch in the train, how about you telling me what you're running away from?
Okay. This won't be pretty. I must say I was riveted by your thesis on regressive taxation.
Look, friend, we can talk about candy all day, but you ain't gonna convince me that blue was a bad way to go. By the way, I hear that whistle blowing. I got a train to catch.
Let's go.
Hey, hold on there, Sparky. Before you catch in the train, how about you telling me what you're running away from?
Okay. This won't be pretty. I must say I was riveted by your thesis on regressive taxation. How did you arrive at such a scintillating hypothesis?
But I guess the signs were always there. Though sure, these chiseled good looks and striking personality open the doors of opportunity quickly. But lately, they're closing.
Nó là thằng quên ta. Cái việc phở mà.
Look at me, I'm not Princeton material. Like the song says, Pappy, you gotta know when to fold them. It's my time to fold them.
Sounds like to me you're giving up.
You're a smart man, Pappy.
Listen, Carlton, it's one thing to throw in the hand, but it's another thing to get up from the table and quit the game.
You honestly believe that Superman could beat the Flash in a foot race?
Mr. Bradley, I'm glad you're still here. Carlton Banks.
That's Poppycock. I'm Carlton Banks.
No, Will, your charade is not necessary. Now, if you'll excuse us, Mr. Bradley and I need to talk.
You honestly believe that Superman could beat the Flash in a foot race?
Mr. Bradley, I'm glad you're still here. Carlton Banks.
That's Poppycock. I'm Carlton Banks.
No, Will, your charade is not necessary. Now, if you'll excuse us, Mr. Bradley and I need to talk.
You honestly believe that Superman could beat the Flash in a foot race?
Mr. Bradley, I'm glad you're still here. Carlton Banks.
That's Poppycock. I'm Carlton Banks.
No, Will, your charade is not necessary. Now, if you'll excuse us, Mr. Bradley and I need to talk.
A lot of these legacies I interview, they've got the grades, the resume, but they're sheltered. Like that milquetoast cousin of yours. But you really impressed me tonight. I'd be interview. They've got the grades, the resume, but they're sheltered. Like that milquetoast cousin of yours. But you really impressed me tonight. I'd be happy to sign a letter. Sheltered. Like that milquetoast cousin of yours. But you really impressed me tonight. I'd be happy to sign a letter. Like that milquetoast cousin of yours. But you really impressed me tonight. I'd be happy to sign a letter of recommendation. It's the resume, but they're sheltered. Like that milquetoast cousin of yours. But you really impressed me tonight. I'd be happy to sign a letter of recommendation for you.
Thank you. Well, thanks for covering for me tonight.
Oh, no problem, man. I'm just glad you came back when you did. Starting to get a little too comfortable in this stuff, you know what I'm saying?